When I was in my 20s, there were times when I was more concerned about whether I had a date for the weekend than whether I had gone into overdraft on my checking account. I've always felt like a strong person, but there was still a sense of wanting to please people and meet everyone's needs, even if it was just a guy on a first date. After getting married and divorced, I realized there's a way more interesting, empowering, and lucrative way I could have been spending my time: acquiring property. Real estate. Real estate's like dating, only far better. Imagine the hunt for Prince, Princess Charming sans the crappy one-night stands, catfishing, lies, and the not ready for commitment factor. The Multiple Listing Service, or MLS, a large online database of homes for sale, is like Tinder or Bumble, but instead of swiping right for your next potential date, or possibly the man of your dreams, you're hunting for a prime investment to build your personal wealth. And this fish wants to be caught. The outcome? You're the one who owns the castle and all the equity that goes along with it. Real estate listing photos, like online profiles, may make the candidate look younger than he or she is in person, or perhaps all you see are a lazy agent's blurry finger-in-the-shot iPhone photos, which are probably not at all enticing. But you make an appointment to see it anyway, and you fall in love with its potential as your starter apartment purchase or a solid rental unit. When it comes to real estate, looks can be deceiving. A place that appears rough around the edges can prove to be a gem. Whatever condition the place is in about 3 years, you're likely to turn a profit, and in the meantime, you're not wasting money on a rental. I once knew a woman who was an attorney and spent 15 years renting. She couldn't make a decision to buy. It turned out her issues with real estate mirrored her issues with dating. She said if she went out on a date with a guy and she didn't like him on the first date, she would never go out with him again. She was setting herself up for an all-or-nothing scenario. He was either the one, or he wasn't worth her time. She was actually considering moving to another city to chase a man who had rejected her. Her fear of commitment to her own life and self-worth resulted in her taking a 6-month rental and still not buying. She wasn't taking responsibility for her own happiness and security. Think about it. If her rent was $2,500 a month, that's $30,000 a year. That means over the course of 15 years, she threw away $450,000 instead of investing her money in a home and earning a profit. There are women who say, I want to be independent and take care of myself, but they don't make the moves that independent people actually make. They work themselves ragged, but only have a 401k and a nice car to show for it. Owning real estate relieves the part of you that yearns to create a home. It means you can stop waiting for a man to provide you with a place to nest. Most women have to have a home. We need design. We need colors. We need baths. We need these things. When I was growing up in our rented townhouse in State College, Pennsylvania, a home was something I visited, not something I lived in. My friends lived in single-family detached houses with their 2-parent families, and I loved escaping to that security after school and on weekends, as much as they would have me. My friend's mother, Dawn, put up with a lot of my shenanigans, as I had a larger-than-life presence even as a teenager. They still tell the story about the time I dropped spaghetti in the middle of the kitchen floor and it somehow managed to land on the ceiling as well. I was a 1980s latchkey kid. I pined for the lives of my friends where they encountered things like rules and boundaries. They had someone to yell at them to get their homework done or be home by 6 every day. My parents divorced when I was very young, and my sister and I lived with my mother, who worked from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. every day. My father, who lived in New Jersey, had a Ph.D. in horticulture and managed a plantscape firm. He was in love with plants and was uninspired by the pursuit of materialism and the rat race of academia, and so chose a low-paying, hands-on position, servicing the plantscape of Trump Tower, Penn Station, among other notable Manhattan buildings. My mother worked as a secretary. Neither of them ever owned their own home. I learned very early on that if I was going to have a better life, education was my only way out, and I desperately wanted that ticket to freedom.